All right, what's going on, people? So I had a lot of people ask me the same question. What exactly is Full of Smoke? So I figured I'd put this video out there for you guys. I was going to do a live video, but that kind of would have took me in another direction of answering questions. So I just wanted to take this platform here and just put out there real quick, explaining exactly what it is, what's the purpose of it, and how it's going to benefit you as a consumer. Okay? So there's three main facets of the cigar industry. Regardless of whatever the names are of the different people in the industry, there's three main facets that remain consistent. You have the manufacturer side, you have the retail side, and then you have the consumer. It's there that Full of Smoke really comes into play. If you look at any magazine out there on the market right now, anyone, just pick any one, 99.9% of the time is speaking to a manufacturer or a retailer, a brand, a new cigar, the makeup, tobacco, regions, hands down, 99.9% of the time. So there's a lot of people out there reporting to you about that side. But every time I went and talked to someone and I asked them, do you realize you're the driving force behind the manufacturers and the retailers doing what they do? You know, when they first went out into the fields and they wanted to grow tobacco, that was a passion. That was their passion. That was their love. You know? So everything they focused on that for them. And putting out a good product for you. Now, another entity came into play where you have to be regulated to sell it. You have to be licensed to sell tobacco. That's where them ATF boys come into play. Okay? Now, thank God for the retail side. Because not everybody's going to be going out there to try to get a license to sell tobacco. So we need somebody to be able to buy it from, or get it from, or however else we do it. But we need those legal entities in place for us to indulge in what we love. Which brings me to Full of Smoke magazine. The manufacturing and retail side, they do what they do, whether it be a business aspect, whether it be because of the love and the passion they have for it. Whatever the case is, they do what they do. We do what we do as consumers, but at the same time, it's us. Just like any other industry out there in the world, when you go buy tickets for a basketball game or a football game, it's those ticket sales that covers the overhead for that stadium. It's that stadium that's generating the revenue to pay those players. You see what I'm saying? You see how this works? But nobody ever takes the time to go out and speak to Smo Joe that's been sitting in seat 43A for the last 99 years and gearing a platform just around those people who's driving that force. Well, at least not in the cigar industry anyway. I haven't seen it. You know, I challenge anybody out there to name 3 magazines that only speaks to the consumer, that doesn't mention nothing else but the consumer, doesn't mention another topic about a cigar company, about a retail side, about a new stick. I challenge anybody out there, find me those magazines that only speak to the consumer. When you open it up, that person, whether they're an entrepreneur in the industry, whether they're selling apparel, because technically they're still on the consumer side, even though they have a brand or they're selling something that's related to the cigar industry. If you're not a retailer of tobacco or a manufacturer of it, you're a consumer in the industry. Now, everybody finds different ways to make money off of the industry, but at the same time, you're still a consumer. So, Full of Smoke speaks to those different sides that you just don't see on a regular in a magazine. You know, I sat down with some people that's been smoking for over 40 something years, and they said, CJ, For those of y'all who know me, they, people call me CJ or people call me Carlton, however the case. They said, CJ, I've been smoking for X amount of years and I never had nobody ask me that question. Why do I smoke cigars? And what keeps me coming back to them? At the same time, nobody sat down and said, people ask you all day long, how much money you think you spend on cigars? Okay, whatever the case is, that's what you spent. But have you ever really sat down with a person and got in depth with them about different experiences they had in the cigar world, the different hurdles that they had to overcome? Now, speaking about a up-and-coming retailer or up-and-coming manufacturer, a consumer, a person who's never looking to be on the retail or manufacturing side, just enjoy smoking. It amazes me that we don't get the gratification that we deserve, because without us, there's no them. It's our hard-earned dollars that keeps going to the retailers, that's pushing them out to the manufacturers, that's pushing them out to the payments for their workers in the fields and their factories. It's us. Now, I support everything that the major cigar brands in the industry and the people that protect us, like CRA, support them 100%. But we needed a platform. We needed a voice. Every now and then, somebody wants to pick up a magazine and say, hey, I know what that guy's going through. I smoked such and such, and the same thing happened to me. But I was at this place, and they said it happened for this reason, or this happened. So each issue of Full of Smoke is going to speak on a topic. This first issue is actually speaking on the topic of women in the cigar world. Their pitfalls, their hurdles, their accomplishments, why they smoke. The topic is women in the cigar world. The consumer side, though, because you do have women that's on the manufacturer side, on the retail side, whether they be via rollers or whatever. But this speaks to the consumer female, the consumer woman. So that first issue is going to be around that. So those that's already in the issue knows what kind of questions I asked them and what kind of experiences they had. So that's what this platform is. This is for the people. This is for you guys who go out and spend thousands and thousands of dollars so that you can still get your favorite smoke, so that the factories can keep running, so that the manufacturers can keep growing, so that the retail side can keep flourishing and carrying your product you love. That's what Full of Smoke is all about. It speaks to the consumer. So the next time you pick up a stick and you think about what it's doing for you, at the same token, think about what it's doing for the industry. Because just like every relationship should be a win-win for both parties, the same thing should go in this scenario. Right now they win because we spend our money and they grow our tobacco and sell it. We win because we're getting the pleasure out of smoking something that we endure. But at the same time, we need to recognize ourselves as the empowerment of the industry. We're the fuel that keeps this engine running. So next time you pick up a stick and you smoke, and you're thinking about your experiences, you're thinking about what you're going through, think about Full of Smoke, the magazine that's for the consumer. Stay smoky, y'all.